Everyone knows the United States is in debt. However, not everyone knows that the United States is $15,566 billion in debt. Have you ever thought about how much money that is? To put it into perspective, the United States, the world's largest economy, could put its entire GDP for the year 2011 towards paying off its debt and would still have to pay $2,284 billion. Unfortunately, we can't do this because we have other expenditures. One huge expenditure that we have is our welfare spending. In fact, in an article posted September 16th of 2009, the Heritage Foundation claims that welfare spending is our third largest expenditure, right under Social Security and Medicare spending and education. That's right. Our third largest expenditure is the giving of free money. Now don't get me wrong, our welfare system has the potential to do great things. As a child, my family, as well as many of my friends' families, relied on it for support, and I'm extremely grateful for the opportunities that it's given me. However, I've also seen it being used and abused in ways that it was never meant to be used, and this has to stop. So first, we have to have new regulations in place. If we don't have new regulations in place, then we can't change anything. I propose that we would require drug testing, we would lower the payment amounts that we give people, and we would decrease the length of time that they could receive these payments. Now, so today we're going to talk about some of the negatives of welfare, some of the benefits these regulations could give us in the society that we could live in afterward. So let's talk about some of the negatives first. On April 22nd in 2011, Forbes stated in an article posted on their website called America's Ever-Expanding Welfare Empire that our total welfare spending for the 2010 fiscal year reached $900 billion. Now, if you don't think that this affects you, think about our money. We have a fiat currency, which means that if the government prints more money, the value of our money goes down. Therefore, the money that you are making has less value, and you're making less money. So after we spent that $900 billion in 2010, that marked the 25% increase for the year of welfare spending, and it goes up every single year. So not only does this hurt our economy, it hurts the mentality of those that are under welfare. In that same article, Forbes stated that our government literally gives cradle-to-grave services, which provides little incentive for people to work that are on welfare. On July 6, 2011, Barack Obama, in his Twitter town hall session, in which he discussed concerns about citizens, stated that our welfare programs encourage this dependency and that they steal the motivation of those who are under it. The Bluefield Daily Telegraph in October of 2011 gave some of the unnecessary pleasantries that these people have, which they should not have. For instance, one half of the people on welfare have a personal computer, 1 in 7 have 2 or more, 1/3 of them have video game systems, and 2/3 of all people on welfare have a widescreen plasma or LCD television. Why are we giving these people money if they have money to buy televisions? Alright, so obviously we have a need for welfare reform. So now that we've talked about some of the bad things, let's talk about some of the good things that these changes, the regulations could give us. So at first, obviously, there's going to be resistance because it's going to make people's immediate lives more difficult. But the people would have to undergo drug tests, and those who pass the drug tests would have to learn how to balance their budget quickly in order to provide food on their table. Now, some of you might think that this is cruel for us to lower the payments and the payment amounts, or the length of time that we give them the money. However, let me assure you that they have enough money to live. They just don't have enough money to get those luxuries. For example, Robert Rector of the Heritage Foundation in the Forbes article stated that people who are under welfare receive about $16,800 each every year. That's roughly 4 times what the Census Bureau estimated was necessary to bring all the poor out of the poverty level. And Heritage Foundation's 2009 executive summary, they also said that people who live within 200% of the poverty line get these same benefits. That's people who make $44,400 a year per family of 4. That's a comfortable living, and they don't need money. So another a benefit of this would be the fact that the production would go up. People would need their jobs because they have to bring money home, and so they would work harder at work, and therefore the companies would grow and they would need more employees, which would make the workforce go up. Also, there would be a higher esteem of education because as people realized that they weren't going to get a free ride, then they would put more of their lives into their education. Um, so now that we've talked about some of the negatives and some of the benefits, let's talk about the society that we could live in afterward. I believe that these changes could benefit our nation economically, socially, and intellectually. Now, the money that we would not spend, the $900 billion and rising every year, we could use on other things, such as education, or ideally, we could put it towards our national debt. Now, socially, there would be less crime. Because the money would be taken out of the drug trade by the drug test, there would be less gangs in neighborhoods, which would bridge social gaps and in certain neighborhoods because they wouldn't be considered dangerous anymore. Because after all, gangs use the drug trade as one of their main sources of income. Now, intellectually, as I stated before, education will be of higher esteem, not only at the secondary and elementary levels, but also at the college level, because parents would want to go back and get a degree to make more money so they wouldn't have to struggle. So, in review, I've talked about some of the negative things and misuses of the welfare system, some of the benefits that we can get from the regulations, and the future society that we could live in. So after hearing some of these disturbing facts and what we can do, it's very important for you as an American citizen to know that you have the privilege and the right to help make a difference. So I hope that after hearing all this, that when the opportunity presents itself, that you will actually speak up and make a difference, a positive change in the lives of both the people under welfare and those of us who are paying for it. Thank you for listening.